It's hump day, baby. We're halfway to the weekend. Got a great show for you today. I'm going to tell you what Texas A&M has to do to get back in their bag to maybe, I don't know, win the West and, be competitive toward the end outside of 1 year. Going to talk about, obviously, the playoffs. We got to get off my lawn. Call-ins, all right, at 1-855-236-3228. Starting to take those at 7:15 Central, 8:15 a.m. Eastern. But, so what's this I hear about AIs writing songs? And Blaine,
you heard about this?
Blaine said they're bangers.
I didn't know about the Weeknd and who was it, Drake?
The Weeknd and Drake made it like Drake and the Weeknd came out super pissed about it, obviously, but they made a song pretty good.
Wait. So hold on.
No, they're like AI generated their voices, right? So it's not like they went and like.
But isn't that what they normally do anyway?
Yeah, basically, but it's not like when sang the song like they generated their voices. I don't know like about the melody and stuff. I know we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's generated by the AI or not. But
I've been hearing about this for the last few months. You just type in like this Chat GPT thing or whatever and say like, "Hey, write me a song about this topic," and it gives you like the lyrics. I don't know about how the melodies work.
Yeah, and a lot of lawyers are using it. Like it'd be like, "How will I win this case?" And it'll give them like the entire thing.
Well, my question is, how long have y'all really had this stuff?
We're done.
Like, has this? But the thing is, like, I wouldn't be shocked. Robots making music, I thought that's what techno was.
Basically is.
I don't think this is something that's like new on the planet. I think people have had this for a while. We're just getting it now. Like Google Maps. They got stuff 50 years ahead of what we got right now, and they just give us kind of the older stuff, which means if they're giving us this, what do they got right now? Because if you got robots out here writing songs and helping lawyers win cases and doing all this other stuff, what do y'all have right now?
If there's one thing I won't be surprised if what actually gets the human race is artificial intelligence. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
We're trying to replace ourselves.
Yeah. And like even Elon came out, I believe he was on an interview the other day talking about AI and just like there has to be regulation.
Well, what scares me is zombie apocalypse. I can go hide. I'll go to an island. Tornado, like big storm, I can leave and go somewhere else while the storm's. Where do you hide from robots? Can't hide on Earth. Can't hide in space. Where are you going to hide?
You got a team. You got to team up. You got to team with them.
Team with them. That's exactly right.
That's the only thing you can do.
You got a John Connor, the whole thing. There you go. We figured it out. Good job, guys. If it goes down, we become friends with him. You go opposite Will Smith.
That doesn't sound like a friendship.
You got to go Owen Wilson. You got to go Owen Wilson, find where they keep the main hard drive like they do in the movies. Probably not how it works at all, but Cortana somewhere.
They're writing songs. Yeah. We're past.
Yeah, they're writing. The difference now is they're writing.
Hard drive. We're past you can find the hard drive and just spill something on it or cut the red wire.
I don't know, Dave. That's what they do in the movies.
Yeah, exactly. We're past that.
Texas A&M currently leads college football with the most transfers out this offseason. Bills safety Damar Hamlin plans on making a comeback to the NFL, and the Celtics continue to cruise to the first round of the NBA playoffs while Giannis is hurt for the Bucks. I'm Jake Crain, and welcome to Crain & Company. Now, going back all the way to the J-Boy show, to literally this past weekend, I always have Texas A&M fans in my DMs asking, is this the year where we finally break out? By we, I mean them. And to me, the answer is simple. The Aggies won't break through until they go back to being who they really are. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we all know how much Texas and Texas A&M can't stand one another. It's a great rivalry, and I'm excited to see it in the SEC. And for the longest time, A&M was the scrappy, tough, physical, old-school style football team. The Junction Boys, the 12th man, the guys who felt like they had a chip on their shoulder because they weren't big, bad Texas, and they played like it. But now, fast forward to 2023, it seems that in the arms race to keep up with Texas, the Aggies have become more like the Longhorns than ever before. They have more prima donnas than ever before. There's more drama than ever before. And while having unreal facilities and one of the deepest NIL bags around can be a great thing, it seems in their quest to catch Texas that they've lost their edge. They went from Yellowstone to Gossip Girl. To me, it's like when a dog finally catches the car. They have no idea what to do with it. Now, I'm not saying they need to tear down their facilities. or stop giving out water at practice. But Texas A&M will not go where they want unless they remember where they came from. A&M was never meant to be the pretty boy, the spoiled rich kid, or the dude who's mad at their parents because they wanted the 2021 Land Rover, not the 2020 edition. The Aggies need to get back to embracing being the rebellion again, being a bunch of tough asses again, and it's not too late to fix the ship. But if they keep trying to become something they aren't, they will never become what they really want to be. And that's just the truth there, Diesel. David Cone, former Michigan quarterback, slinger of the rock. My brother, former Western State Colorado wide receiver, absorber of the rock with his hands. Guys.
Absorber.
Yeah.
What if that was what the position was called?
The absorber?
The absorber.
Doesn't that sound like a really terrible superhero? It's like the one kid at X school that his powers just suck and everybody makes fun of him.
But then saves the day
at the end. There we go. There it is. X-Men 9. I just came up with the plot.
There you go.
The human sponge.
Against the robots.
But when we talk about A&M, you know what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying.
A&M to me has just always been the country strong. Hey, look, we got money, but we're just going to, take the old school beat up pickup truck out, throw the ball around. We're not these pretty rich kids in Austin, Texas, in the capital with all the money. And when you try and reach your rival, when your rival has better stuff than you and you're trying to reach them, when you finally catch them, you realize maybe the reason you were able to catch them was the journey, not the end of it. I think A&M, and this doesn't mean that you don't have nice things and you don't recruit great players, but I think they have traded their work boots for a set of aviators.
Well, you say catch them, like in what way do you mean?
Like from a resource standpoint. Like if you look at A&M now, when it comes to NIL and all that stuff, they're right there with with Texas.
Well,
but it's more of a mindset thing to me. It's not even just the resources. It's trying to be the big bad boy on the block instead of just being the tough guys that go out there and grind it and grind it and grind it and grind it. That's still who I think of when I think of Texas A&M. It just seems like now it's just a bunch of pretty boy drama up there.
Interesting. As from an outsider's perspective, as someone who has no affiliation with Texas A&M football, what I see and what I've appreciated about their program is that the fans care so much, and the fans consider Texas A&M to be a top-tier football program, and I appreciate that. I haven't seen Texas A&M really be that. Now, we know the University of Texas has, fallen off from grace the last decade. I'm not sure how Texas football ever is not in the national, spotlight every single season. They've had their own problems, but I've never seen Texas A&M as being on the same level of Texas in terms of their blue blood status in college football, but I've always appreciated their fans trying hard to be that, and they donate a lot of money, and so you're never going to have a program not want to have the resources, right? They think the NIL spending and the new facilities, they're watching all the other programs do that. That's what Nick Saban did at Alabama. That's what Kirby Smart has done at Georgia. That's what we need to do, and we can win. And they went out and got their guy. They spent a whole lot of money on Jimbo Fisher. So my question to you is this a Jimbo Fisher thing, or does this go all the way back to Kevin Sumlin? Is this an administration thing? We hear about Texas a lot of times, and we hear Texas has had good football coaches since Mack Brown left, since they won their last national title. There seems to be something in the political nature of the alumni base and that kind of thing. For Texas A&M, is that what you think is getting in the way?
Yeah, I think it started with Johnny Manziel and Kevin Sumlin. Because if you go back and look at A&M's history, they have always been, they're most famous for the 12th man, talking about the walk-on, the guy that's not even on scholarship. They had all walk-on kickoff team. They made a 30 for 30 about it, an all walk-on kickoff team that was gritty and tough. And I'm not saying you want all walk-ons playing everywhere, but it's the mindset of A&M to me. And look, society's different. I get it. This isn't 1970. This isn't 1980 anymore. There is no 3-a-days. There's none of that. But it just seems, because from an Auburn perspective, we're not the state school. Alabama's the state school. Auburn will always be looked at as little brother. But you know what? We embrace that stuff. That's fine. We'll be little brother, but that doesn't mean we're afraid of you. We'll go in a back alley and fist fight you to the death because that's who we are. But what scares me, I think this is what has happened with A&M a little bit is because Texas has fallen off, I think is a little bit of a reason for that as well. It seems that A&M, from a mindset standpoint, from a player standpoint, isn't that tough, gritty team anymore. Because again, as the head coach, you got to put some on Jimbo. Your team takes your identity. They at least a good coach. That's how it works. But it seems that there's more now drama off the field. They're more of a finesse program, not trying to knock your lights out, not just a bunch of guys going out there, just turning it into a barroom brawl. I don't know. It just seems different. And I feel like they need to embrace being the tough country kids and not the kids in Austin whose dad invented fruit roll-ups and has a big yacht and they're pissed off because they got a bad present for Flag Day. That's what it seems like.
There's nothing like getting a bad present for Flag Day.
It's the worst.
I want to talk about having an upsetting day.
Yeah, this is like my second
I've never
Flag
seen
Day.
A&M as this tough, extra strong, working hard group of guys.
Junction Boys.
I've never seen them as
man.
that. I've never seen them.
And
They've never really like
Bear Bryant.
And it starts with me when it comes to stuff like that. It starts with what? It starts with defense. That's what it starts with me. I've never really seen Texas A&M just dominate on defense for a year. When you go back to the Johnny Manziel days, they weren't dominating on defense. They were racking up 40-plus points a game and winning. The Kellen Mond days, I have to go back and look. It's COVID year. You know how that goes. But I'm just the thing about A&M is this. I'm just sick of just hearing all the hype every year, walking into it. This is the year for A&M. A&M needs to let go of all these high expectations. Just go play football, right? Just go play. It remind me of the Suns, all right? But at least the Suns made it to the finals, all right? The Suns, in my book, they always find a way to lose it because they don't have that just clutch DNA in them at the end of the day. A&M, you got the players, all right? You got the money. You're probably driving in a Range Rover. Let's not sit here and lie. But at the end of the day, it came to the same thing you say about, and I love Jimbo Fisher. I'm a Jimbo Fisher guy. Says the same thing you say about Cal, right? You're getting the guys in there. Right? It's your job to turn them in what they're supposed to be.
So those are interesting points. Two things there. One I agree with you on and one I disagree with you on. The first one is, yes, there is this sort of air about Texas A&M where they think they're better than they are or have been before. I agree. And that sort of leads a lot of the nation to poke fun at Texas A&M sometimes. But the second part of that is Texas A&M needs to lower their expectations and sort of get down on the level where they've been playing. That part I do disagree with because just like Nebraska, I like that Nebraska is frustrated that they're not the Nebraska of old. I like that they're trying to build facilities to get back up, and Texas A&M says, you know what, let's go get Jimbo Fisher. I want every team in the country to have the highest expectations possible because that's what makes college football the best, even though they haven't.
But sooner or later, and I'm not talking about have the expectations of playing where they are. Hell, that means they'd be expected to win 5 games every year. That'd suck. I mean, you at least go to a bowl game. But I'm just like, and I get you're getting all the 5-star recruits. So you are leading the transfer portal right now. But just walking in every year, maybe it's not more the team, but maybe it's more, I can understand from a fan standpoint, but the media too, it's every year. A&M, it's this year for A&M. They got this guy, they got this guy, that guy. Then they walk in the season, right, and lose to App State. So it's just, A&M, just sometimes you need to ground yourself a little bit.
Well, I don't think it's about the fans. Again, all the fans' expectations, that stuff doesn't matter.
No, media.
The media doesn't matter. It's the players and the coaches, all that other stuff, it can influence it, but I'm not even talking about expectations. The standard should never change. The standard should always be high. And I think you don't think of Texas A&M that way. I think y'all don't think of them for two different reasons. One, Texas A&M's kind of, like you said, from an outsider perspective when you look at Texas A&M. I think I just like history of football more than you. I'm talking about Southwest Conference. I'm talking about Gene Stallings. I'm talking about Jackie Sherrill, R.C. Slocum, old, tough-ass football coaches. That's what I'm talking about. That's the A&M that I think of. Maybe it's because I'm older than you. Maybe we go about it different.
A lot of programs used to be more hard-nosed.
They have, but again,
trajectory here.
But again, we're talking about guys that, I mean, we all know Gene Stallings. We all know Jackie Sherrill. We all know R.C. Slocum. Yep. Okay, and then all of a sudden you get Kevin Sumlin and Dennis Franchione. And guys, it's different. I feel like they need to embrace those old country strong roots, not being the pretty boy in the locker room, being physical up front, wanting to bury guys, Not worrying about if I'm going to get a Burger King sponsorship after this. The only thing I'm worried about is lining up and kicking that dude's ass in front of me. That's, I think, the difference for A&M that they've got to get back to, because now they're Pretty Boy Floyd, and that's not going to work. And it hasn't worked.
But it's harder than ever. It's harder than ever now to get back to that.
That is true.
Name, image, and likeness. You're talking about Burger King sponsorship, and with the transfer portal being the way it is, which is the question I want to ask
teams are doing
it.
Look at Georgia. Look at Bama. It's doable.
They're winning.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So Texas A&M does lead the transfer out portal right now with 30 players. Arkansas second with 28. Arizona State 25. That one makes sense a little bit. And then Oregon's tied at 25. Texas A&M 30 players transferring out in the offseason. That is a byproduct of bringing in a lot of 5 stars. They had the number 1 recruiting class year before last. But does that concern you at all when you see them leading the transfer portal?
This is the drama I'm talking about. This isn't like the first time this has happened. It seems to be a revolving door. And it's not, you want to sign great players. Well, guess what? All the guys that do all these 5-star rankings, half of them have no idea what they're talking about. Or they'd be coaching. Or they'd be recruiting. Some of them do. Guys like Rusty Manziel do. I'm not knocking everybody. There are guys that know ball that do this. But it's not just about signing the guy with the most stars. It's about signing the right guy. The right guy. How many 5 stars were on the teams we just saw in the Final Four? Not a lot.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in college football. Now, there's teams, when you look at the blue chip prospect, obviously over time, in the aggregate, you sign more 5 stars, you're going to get more NFL players. But it's different when you're putting together a team and a team's mindset. That's my whole point. The drama is at an all-time high at Texas A&M. You went from people begging to be the 12th man to people leaving at an insane rate.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem to me from a mindset standpoint.
And one note on their schedule quickly, they already play in the SEC
7-5.
You're already going to play in the SEC West, which means you have to play Alabama. Now, you do get them at home. You're going to go on the road to LSU to end the season.
Pause.
But here's a few interesting things. Second week at Miami this year, because Miami came to you last year, and you know Mario Cristobal is going to have that team a lot better than they were last season. And then your 2 crossover games for the East at Tennessee, and then you're going to play South Carolina.
Who they could be very sneaky
Who is making moves.
They actually have a quarterback returning, so we'll see.
7-5.
But speaking about returning, maybe you left sports gambling or you're not involved anymore because you didn't like your sports book. Well, buddy, do I have the deal for you. Now, we all know it's NBA playoffs time. All right, that means big hoop action with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. But there's NHL as well, UFC, golf, the draft's coming up. There's tons of prop bets. It's unbelievable. It's like a Hollywood movie set. There's so many props. And everybody right now can score a no-sweat, same-game parlay every day during the NBA playoffs. And if you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and sign up with our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Win or lose. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Guys, it's everything. Also, you can get in on the excitement of every game with the touch of a button. New customers can also make a $5 pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if their team wins. Talking about the NBA. So make sure you go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. We use it every day. We love it. Early lines.
Come on, man. This is the best time of year for this right now.
Exactly right.
NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, golf, fighting.
It's hard to get better than the
Major League Baseball.
Right, you can bet on whatever you want. Whatever
Just
you want.
not the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, don't bet on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, look, hockey didn't do me well yesterday.
I don't forget.
Avs, me neither.
Yeah,
me neither.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, the Avs won it last year. The Leafs can't get out of the first round.
They can't.
It's like whoever Fallon Fox fights against.
Wow.
Let's go to Stephen Moore, Booster Club. What is up? He says, if Texas A&M wants to be relevant, they should model themselves after the Michigan Wolverines.
I mean,
it's not a bad self to model.
We talked about Billy Lucci with this with Jimbo Fisher. A lot of Michigan fans were ready to run Jim Harbaugh out. Yep. What's he done? Back-to-back wins over his biggest rival, back-to-back college football playoff appearances. Now, he still has a hump to get over, which is that national championship, but that is something for Texas A&M fans to keep in mind.
They've done it up front, in my opinion.
Does Michigan have a ceiling, though, when running that type of offense?
Again, to the point that I said about Nebraska and Texas A&M, that kind of offense, though, I don't think it's that different than what Georgia was running.
Well, maybe it's more true. Just I think they trusted Stetson a lot more. Well, pushing the ball down the field. I know y'all had a new quarterback. Maybe that kind of had to play into it. I know y'all did a better latter half of the year, but early, you relied so much on the run game.
Michigan needs to set as their goal at the beginning of every single football season to win the national championship. That's what I'm saying. I want the same for Nebraska and Texas A&M. Are we getting to a place where every single team outside the SEC, except an occasional Clemson or something like that, needs to reset their expectations because the SEC is dominating national championships so much? Yes. I mean, other teams, other schools need to go take the crown.
Why are we talking about Michigan's offense being the problem? Like what?
Not a problem.
What do we mean by
the ceiling?
that?
Like kind of gets
like a.
Well, I would say it's kind of more on the new quarterback. I mean, if y'all were running the ball more and weren't pushing the ball down the field, and I feel like you kind of get to the playoffs. I mean, I know they played against TCU, but you run into a Georgia team, or like you can't just run your way to a national championship.
If Georgia hadn't gone back to back right now with that sort of run first mentality that they've had, I'd say maybe you're onto something, because those schools up north, when it gets late in the fall, when it gets cold, trying to have that run first mentality makes sense. But Georgia did it.
Yeah, well, don't give up 51 points to TCU. You scored the offense isn't the problem. Like you scored 51, 56, 59, 34, 27, 31, 41, 29-7 against Michigan State, 52, 34, 19-17 win over Illinois. That was just a crazy game. 45 against Ohio State, 43 against Purdue, 45 against TCU. Don't give up 51 points, not the offense.
Well, it was a problem last year.
They played in that Illinois game.
What do you mean problem last year?
The year before that in the playoffs.
Well, you ran into a Georgia team that's just way better.
You're going to run in that? I mean,
I think
what, are they slowing down?
You could have run you could have run Dr. Seuss's offense. You weren't scoring against Georgia.
But how do you run up on a team like Georgia? What? You air the ball out. What did Ohio State do? They aired the ball out. If you're going to run into a team like Georgia, an SEC team in the playoff with a dominant defense, you're not going to be able to run your way to a win.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to be balanced. You beat those teams with balance. You don't be. I mean, Georgia the year before, who threw it against Georgia really well?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
what about this year?
That Georgia team was incredible.
Yeah,
look, that was Cade McNamara starting that game. J.J. McCarthy was just coming in.
Michigan wasn't winning that game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what about
game.
this year? What about this year?
Well, this year you gave up.
I mean, you saw Ohio State. Do you think if you played Georgia, you think it'd be a different outcome if y'all played them this year in the playoffs than it was the year before that?
I don't know what kind of team Georgia's going to return without Stetson Bennett and without.
No, I'm talking about the team this year, last year in the playoffs. All right, if Michigan would have played that Georgia team, you think you're racking up more points on that Georgia team than the year before they played in the playoffs?
Yes, because they had J.J. McCarthy at quarterback, and they were better on offense. And a different OC. That was the biggest thing, too.
A lot of people said this.
Big OC. Ask Miami.
Josh Cadden. And look, I don't hate Josh. I don't have anything against Josh, but it seems like it's
I don't either.
And
that team beat Ohio and went to the college football playoff. You know, like what they did was incredible. I'm not hating.
Well, I think it's the same thing with Ryan Day saying, I need to step away from the play calling offensively at Ohio State. Y'all scoring 100 points a game. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Stop somebody when it counts.
Let's go to Deacon in Orange. He says, remember when Blade said if to get to 200K subscribers, he would shave his head? I did say that. We get 200K.
Did you say 200K?
Yeah.
I thought you said 50K.
I thought you said 50, and we're at 70 today.
No.
Thank you, Booster Club.
Not at all. See, they just make stuff up. That's
we'll run the tape.
I can confirm it.
Yeah, go ahead.
There you go.
Go to Mad Veg, # Crain Company. What shocking / surprising trade or pick do you think will happen in this year's draft? I think the biggest surprise would be the Cardinals getting rid of 3.
I don't think they'd be dumb to do it.
No.
Like, I mean, I would much rather, if I was the Arizona Cardinals fan, first off, God be with you. Second off, if I would be happy if they said, you know what? We don't believe in anybody outside of, we don't need a quarterback, right? And even if we did, don't believe in anybody outside of Bryce and CJ. So why not trade the pick back, get a lot of draft capital, because we see it every year. Somebody wants to reach for Will Levis or Anthony Richardson in that top 5 somewhere. Somebody's willing to drop the bag for those guys. Now, who that would be, I mean, would somebody move up really tight, between 5 to 3 if they're worried about somebody making the moves? But if the Cardinals were smart, in my opinion, and somebody was willing to, give me a ton of draft capital to move back a couple spots, I don't think you're crazy.
Well, you got to think what you're getting with DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
And Budda Baker wants out.
And Budda Baker leaving. So you could... you could really have a lot of high draft picks the next 3 to 4 years. And that's kind of what the Cardinals need, especially you're signed with Kyler. Kyler's your guy.
Very true. One more real quick.
All right, feeling dangerous, 113 with the $2 donation. Appreciate it, brother. It says, Cavs dominate the Knicks in game 2. Let's go, baby.
That's a great segue to rapid fire. We can hop into it. But first, David, before we even hop into it, last weekend, wings, grill, gas grill, need propane. Our friends at Cinch help us out. Cinch, if you don't know, it's CYNCH. All right, they are a propane tank delivery service. It's unbelievable. We know the weather's warming up here in Nashville, and you know what that means. It's grilling season, baby, and I could not be more excited. I love grilling season, and that's where our friends Cinch come in clutch. Like I said, they're a propane grill tank delivery service. They deliver propane tanks right to your door on your schedule. You don't need any long-term commitment or subscription. They're not going to follow you around and scream at you. Plus, delivery is completely contactless. You don't have to wait around or be at home. You can track the order on the Cinch app. So, if you like to grill, which I know you do deep down, even if you pretend you don't, go online to cinch.com, that's CYNCH.com, or download their new app to order, because new customers can get their first tank exchange for just $10 with promo code BOOSTER. That's BOOSTER. Go to cinch.com or download the Cinch app. Use that promo code BOOSTER to get your first tank exchange for just $10. CYNCH.com, promo code BOOSTER. It's a limited time offer, and you must live within a Cinch service area to redeem it. So go check it out, use that promo code, and get your grill on so you can get your chill on.
Those chicken wings you made, fantastic.
I'll give you credit.
Adam
Team effort.
also
Team effort.
because he had some last night.
Good,
as well.
good. We sent y'all home with a
You sent him
bag.
with a to-go bag, buddy.
Yes, with the juice.
That's
in
how you know
too.
it was a good time.
Spilled
Cercio,
down.
Rhino there too.
Yes. That was a team. That was a group. You talk about being old school
That was
country
fun,
strong.
man.
That was a great time. All right, let's get to a little rapid fire.
Yeah, like he said, Cavs over the Knicks, 107-90, really dominated the game even more than the score showed. Cavs put up 34 in the second period, and the Knicks scored 17. So, series even now 1-1.
Yeah, you had a feeling this was going to happen the way that New York kind of brought it to the Cavs. I thought that the Knicks out-physicaled the Cavs in the first game. Darius Garland just showed up. I mean, he dropped, I think, 32, but really dominated the pace of the game. He kind of set the tone. When you look at the Cavs, are they the best three-point shooting team? No. But what do they have? Guys that can take it to the rack. And when you have guys that can take it to the rack, you open it up for those guys that may not be more athletic that actually can shoot. So it seemed to me like Cleveland was a lot more themselves last night. But let's be honest, guys. What's gotten Cleveland here? It's not offense. It's defense. They're an old-school slasher film on offense, stonewall on defense, and they looked more like the Cavs last night. I'm not panicking about the Knicks. The Knicks are playing with house money. You already went in there and stole one of the two. But if Darius Garland, we all know about Spider, all right, Isaac Okoro, those guys, if they can get it going, we know this Cavs team is physical, and physicality, just like, Rosetta Stone, it translates.
Blaine, how many games will this series go?
Oh, it smells like 7.
It does
Really?
smell like
It
7.
smells like 7. This and the Kings. Even if the Kings are up 2-0. Still hard for me. I know Draymond got suspended for a game. It's still hard for me to count the Warriors out. Just what I've dealt with in the past. I have PTSD on counting the Warriors out. But when it comes to the Cavs, I mean, this is the Cavs, all right? They've been winning games like this all year. That's what, playing defense. They shot 43% from 3. So that's going to be tough to beat anyways if any team you play.
If they shoot like that, yeah.
43%. And you dominated the paint. You dominated rebounds. You dominated the paint. You play good defense. And if you shoot well, that's a tough recipe to beat, especially for your young team like the Knicks. But just like Jake said, you got one.
Yeah.
All right, you got what you wanted to when it comes to this. Now you go home. Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, they have guys. Jalen needs to shoot a little bit better from the 3, 1 for 8. I know you dropped 20 points, but still, you're one of the guys, especially on the team, that's going to count. Late in games, saw it with the Mavs, Brunson just go dummy. So, I mean, I like this series, especially right now, this game 3. I don't know, what the spread will be. It'll probably be a pick 'em walking into game 3. I don't know which team has the edge.
New York's going to be lit. They're going to be lit.
So,
I'll say this.
fun.
Blaine's exactly right. There's no way the Knicks are going to win if Julius Randle shoots 8 for 20, Jalen Brunson shoots 5 for 17, and R.J. Barrett's only 4 for 13, including 0 from 3, and Jalen was only 1 for 8. But, guys, listen to this defense. First quarter, the Cavs gave up 22. Second quarter, they gave up 17. Third quarter, they gave up 21. I'm not a mathematician, but that's 60 point through 3 quarters. I think in the NBA, you're winning 95% of those games, unless they blindfold you on offense. So that's, again, it translates, man. It's like those Heat teams, that defense translates.
Another great defensive performance. Celtics take a 2-0 series lead over the Atlanta Hawks. Jason Tatum with a 29 and 10 double-double. Will this be a clean sweep?
Oh, okay.
They go get one?
Yeah.
I've said before
Think
the
they're gonna get
series
one?
started. I think the Hawks are
This next one at home?
I think so.
Game 3?
I think they get this next one at home, and then the Celtics try. Look, Celtics just a better basketball team.
Those are facts.
I mean, just 1 through 5, the Celtics are tough. They have a couple good pieces coming off the bench, but Tatum's that's coming into that role, man. I know he came into it a little bit last year, but right now, if you're watching playoff basketball, what team looks more complete than the Celtics? Like just from a shooting standpoint,
the Sixers maybe. I think I can make an argument for the Sixers when you look at the way Maxi's playing.
Trust the Sixers making it out like
you're right. You're right.
Last 4 years,
you're right.
Down the was it the East? Yeah, it's the East. My brand. They have to make it out one time for me. Just like the Suns, they got the talent. Sure, you got James, Joel, you got the guys, but you're going to run into the same team you run into every time.
Is there a bigger gap in just overall? Not talent, but just who's the better team? Is there a bigger gap between the Celtics and the Hawks or the Nuggets and the Timberwolves? Because those are the two series, it seems to me, that are so lopsided. Now, I know the Nuggets got to play tonight. They'll
play tonight, game 2.
But they beat the Timberwolves like a redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
The first game.
Yeah, they did. And that one's on tonight. We'll get to that one in a second. Quickly, Suns over the Clippers to tie that series 1-1. That was 123 over 109. This is one that I didn't catch any of, but Durant had 25. Devin Booker had 38. Yeah. I mean, Kawhi Leonard still had 31 for the Clippers, and Westbrook had 28.
Russ played good.
Enough. So what do you guys think of this one?
Well, here's the difference. Kawhi still had a great game. Now, he didn't have 38. But the reason that the Suns lost the first game is because offensively they were just awful. I mean, here's the thing with a jump shooting team. If you're a jump shooting team, you better be making jump shots. Mm-hmm. And when the Suns don't, it goes downhill really quickly. Booker was hitting. The Suns had to get this one, obviously, after dropping the first one. No Paul George. I just think gravity's going to take over in this series. I don't think the Clippers can. I'm not saying the Clippers won't win another game, but I don't think they can win enough games in a 7-game series without Paul George, even with Kawhi going off, because I don't think we're going to see another abysmal offensive performance like that with the Suns because they have so many good offensive players. But I do want to say, I think Chris Paul was 0-14 in playoff games that Scott Foster refereed. For the first time,
I took the Clippers.
They won last night.
You did.
They won last night.
The Clippers.
So like that, Chris Paul got off the schneid.
There you
with Scott Foster.
58% field goal percentage for the Suns.
Yeah.
41.7 from 3.
Well, you scored 30 in every quarter.
Let's feel back to the Clips. He didn't play bad.
No.
He played a good basketball game. Russell played good. I mean, Cyborg obviously going to play good. He has no emotions in his body. Speaking of AI, are we sure Kawhi's not a robot? But this just tells you what the firepower the Suns have. If Devin gets it going, KD, who's just a scoring machine, obviously, CP3 can move the pieces on the chessboard where he wants them, and DeAndre Ayton can control the paint. It'll be a tough team to beat, all right? But the thing about it, you do rely on what? Jump shooting, all right? So if you have a bad shooting day, you know, I say a lot in the basketball, I don't really rely on the Suns' defense to give me a lot of wins.
Yeah, some teams, some teams are more versatile offensively, can do a lot of things. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is not versatile offensively, but it seems like the Phoenix Suns. Shout
out Elliott, man.
Congrats on the win. Yeah, shout out to Elliott. All right, like you said, Nuggets at Timberwolves game 2. Let's see what happens tonight.
Yeah, I'm riding with the Nuggets hard.
And then Lakers Grizzlies. Second game, and then Bucks Heat second game. So for the Grizzlies, it sounds like Ja Morant is doubtful, and then in the other game for the Bucks, it sounds like Giannis is doubtful.
The Bucks may be in trouble.
They could be.
I'll see tonight. Because again, there's the shock value of Giannis actually getting hurt and everybody being like, "Whoa!" during the actual game. It's different when you know he's going to be out. We'll see how they approach it. But the Heat are good enough with Jimmy Butler to beat the Bucks without Giannis. But again, I mean, you take out the best player off any team, that other team's obviously going to have a better shot to win. When it comes out of the Lakers and Grizzlies, I mean, the Grizzlies are walking triage tent right now. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers got this one, to be honest with you. Now, will Austin Reeves play that good again? Will Hachimura play that good again? I would doubt it. But
believe in Austin.
But at some point, like like Austin Reeves has shown it so many times, I got to believe.
So if Ja's out for the Grizzlies against the Lakers, and Giannis is out for the Bucks against the Heat, how do you see these going?
I like it a lot better for the Lakers than I do for the Heat. The Heat played a good week one. Even with Giannis out, the Bucks are a pretty dang good basketball team. They play defense. Chris Middleton did drop a 30-piece last time we played, but I like the Bucks to win this second game. I like the Lakers to win this game because you're not only missing Ja, and that's huge. Ja's a franchise guy. But still, before the series started, I was still worried about Steven Adams.
That's a big piece.
Jaren Jackson can only do so much, and you watched that in game 1. Jaren balled, not only on the offense, but defense and getting boards. They're missing that huge merman in the paint in Steven Adams. Because at the end of the day, you're going against what? Anthony Davis And I know he's a walking glass house, but like it's still Anthony Davis.
Are you saying Merman because he looks like the dude that plays Aquaman?
Yes,
that's hilarious.
He kind of does though.
No, he does. He looks like Jason Momoa. No, I like Merman. That's hilarious.
It's Merman.
Water is the essence.
Yes. Yeah. Give me the Lakers, Nuggets. What's going on with the Timberwolves, man? Like that was bad.
You want to know what's going on?
I mean, you have Cat. Cat's a dog.
Hey,
you
you
have
wanna know what's
Anthony
going on?
Edwards, Conley. Like,
I can tell you what's going on. They suck.
No. They're in the playoffs. No one sucks is in the playoffs.
Look, I don't know. I don't know. I'm talking about right now. I'm not saying anybody else should rather be in there. I'm saying there's got to be a worse team in the playoffs, and that's them. You're looking at them.
But being bad and sucking are one different.
Now, compared to everybody else that's still playing right now,
Timberwolves in the Heat.
compared to everybody else right now, they suck.
Timberwolves in the Heat.
People in Minnesota tell you that. We got call-ins. Watch. Somebody from Minnesota's going to call in and be like, Jake, you are 100% correct.
All right. Hockey, boys.
Yes.
Blowouts last night. There wasn't a single game out of the 4 that was, under 2-goal win. So let's start with the Lightning and Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs got it tight there. I think they got it to 3-2 at one point. Ended 7-3. Lightning just spanked them around.
Look, some teams just in the postseason elevate, some deflate. It's only one game. All right, Maple Leafs fans, I know you're used to seeing this movie. It's just at some point, it's like the Scott Foster, Chris Paul thing. At some point, you got to get through it. But, I mean, you can't give up 3 goals in the first period. At home.
And then they score 2 in a row. They get it back to 3-2. That second one, too, Nylander had, it was just incredible to watch. And when he scored it, I was like, okay, they're back in it because I took the Maple Leafs with that parlay last night. And then the Lightning just reel off like 3 more goals in a row before the end of the second period.
Remember the original over was 5.5 over under, and I did the alternate
you took
line
the all
6.5.
Yes, nice.
And
hit.
they destroyed that. I was really happy.
What the hell, Gold Knights?
Yeah,
Golden Knights.
What is that?
Straight to the.
What kind of crap was that?
I guess we're moving on. Winnipeg over Vegas 5-1.
Dude, there was some goals.
Getting racked at home. Just walked in your house and took everything, sat on your couch and told me make me a sandwich, and you did.
And they did.
You did, and you did.
Look, I think they'll get the second game. They'll get the second game.
Well, when I don't bet on them, they'll win by 8.
I'm sorry calling y'all the Silver Princess.
But Rangers Devils, man.
Rangers, man,
I'm
here we
surprised
go.
by that. I'm not surprised the Rangers won. I think the Rangers can win this series, but New Jersey's been playing so well. 5-1?
I was really, really looking forward to this series, and I'm glad the Rangers got game 1 because I want this to be just an old school balls to the wall. Let's play it every game. I just like the matchup. I like the personnel matchup. Now,
did Shesterkin? He had 27 saves.
Look, Shesterkin the first two periods, Shesterkin Matumbo.
No. It's always that type of name. When you hear that type of name at goalie, you ain't scoring.
Oh, dude, it's
like
not
Bandersheads or Shesterkin. Or Gimli.
Yeah. It's like people don't know Shesterkin is Russian for
bet on a team with a good goalie if you're at the end of the day.
Of course.
That's just going to take you to the end.
Who's
the Kraken got released over the Avalanche last night too?
Yeah, that
Huge
one.
Upset.
That one,
Huge
3-1. Baby Cone had that one.
Yes, he did.
Baby Cone back-to-back upsets on the ice.
2 days ago to win it, like plus 165.
Then
hit the Kraken at plus 162 last night. The man is locked in on the ice.
I'm about to buy him skates, man.
You should.
Then tonight we got
calling him Shesterkin.
Game 2 for Canes Islanders, Bruins Panthers, Stars Wild. That one's going to be fun. And then Oilers King. Look, you'll see in my parlay. I think the Stars and the Oilers both even their series.
I like that because they got to get it. I always like betting on the better or the team that has been the better team at home having to get the second game after they lost the first one. Because you drop 2 at home, you might as well start, heating the car up a little bit.
Oh,
get it a little bit toasty. Home. Turn that cedar heater on. All that situation.
You taking any?
I have no idea.
Huh?
I have no idea. Not even going to bet it. Not even going to bet hockey anymore. I'm not.
Yeah, you will.
In my head, I'm like, really liking the Oilers this year. You drop one. You drop the first one at home. Hey, you can always trust the Avs. We drop that at home. Hey, Golden Knights. I mean, why not, right?
Yourself.
We're at home. You get beat by 4.
Self-fade.
Is it 3 in a row?
I can't self-fade show bets.
Why not?
I don't got that in me. I ain't got that in me.
All right.
I ain't got that in me. There's a reason I'm not taking 4 bets right now because it's a disaster. Everything I touch, I'm not the Midas guy, just dies.
Yeah, you're like Medusa.
Yeah,
But
just don't look me in the eyes.
You're Medusa.
Yeah, welcome to 2023.
So, to the NFL, Bills safety Damar Hamlin came out with a statement yesterday. Sounds like he's cleared to play, and he wants to make a return to the NFL.
Awesome.
This is fantastic. Now we'll play the clip here in a second. Said it was Commotio cordis. I don't know how you stood back up if your heart stopped. I'm not thought Peter McCullough made a really good point about that. But I'm so happy to see this. We thought this guy was dead.
Yeah.
On the field.
Yes.
This man came back before. This man almost died and came back before Ben Simmons. How about that? Like, think about that.
He's not
or
wrong.
Zion. Like, this man
he
almost
might
died
play
on the
before
field. Ben Simmons out here getting upset because emotionally his back hurts. This man's apparently heart stopped on the field. He's gonna go.
I can't save you. I can't.
That's the difference between a football player and a basketball player.
I just think there's a difference between a grown man and a child.
I feel like basketball players are a lot more diva-ish than football.
What they say the other day, Sister Riggs said in there, John Stockton missed like 22 games.
I'm talking about in today's age.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about back in the day.
So they were tougher back in the day.
Basketball players for sure.
Gotcha.
I see what
I
you're
know
doing.
Tougher.
He's about to jolly you, tougher.
He's about to jolly you.
Here.
Tougher, but not what?
Damar Hamlin.
All right, let's play the clip. Yeah.
Over these last few months, I've been on a journey, and I've seen, some of the top professionals across the country, and their answers to me were pretty much all the same. They were the same, and this event was life-changing, but it's not the end of my story. So I'm here to announce that I plan on making a comeback to the NFL. So the diagnosis of pretty much what happened to me was basically Commotio cordis. It's a direct blow at a specific point in your heartbeat that causes cardiac arrest. And 5 to 7 seconds later, you fall out. And that's pretty much what everyone's. Commotio cordis is the leading cause of death in youth athletes across all sports. So that's something that I personally will be taking a step in to make a change.
Yeah. Again, I'm just happy Damar's playing. Glad he's okay. Is the scariest.
Do you think he will play? Do you think he will see this through and play in the NFL again?
I think a team would be crazy. I mean, I think he's gonna play for the Bills.
Not just be on a roster though.
No,
I'm talking about beyond the field.
Being
I'm talking about going out and taking
contributing.
hits. Yes, contributing.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
And should he?
If that's what he wants to do.
Okay.
Look, it's your life. It's what you love, man. It's like if and I'm not trying to be funny here, if you were a painter and you love to paint and you got in some accident where both your arms got cut off or something, like fell off, I mean, you'd still want to find a way. That's what you'd love to do. So I hope he does what he wants to do. And again, I'm really happy to see this, man.
So a few things. One, if it truly was a freak accident and there's not some pre-existing condition for it, then you have to think like, hey,
what are
look,
the odds?
I can get over the mentality of what happened to me, and it's what are the odds that it happens again, right? I think that that's a fair thing to say. And then the second part of it is, as long as nothing happened to him physically in the period of time when he was without oxygen, right? Like whatever happened to him immediately following his collapse, as long as nothing happened in his body that says, hey, now if you go take another hit, you're going to be, you're
one, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats. Glad to see him healthy. Glad to see him want to come back. It'd be hard for me to put him on the field, I'm going to be honest.
Gotcha.
Two, I thought like CPR broke like most of your ribs.
I don't know.
That's what I got told. So like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a doctor. But I would love to get one on here so we can ask some questions.
Me too, because that's how I feel about the vaccine part of this.
Yeah.
Too. Like, I don't know. I've seen Little League players in baseball who've gotten pitches hit back to their chest and they've fallen out on the ground. Now, Dr. Peter McCullough was talking about with Commotio cordis that you don't get back up after that happens like Damar Hamlin did. But I don't know. I just don't, I can't speak on stuff I don't know about. I do tell you what I do know is when he sat down Damar Hamlin in his interview with Michael Strahan, and Michael Strahan asked him, can you explain to us what happened to you? He was physically distraught.
Yeah.
Not saying I would prefer not to comment. Now he has an explanation for it. I don't know. I'm just happy that he is here with us, stays healthy and that he's even entertaining the idea of returning to his profession.
Yeah, and again, it was a scary deal, regardless of how you feel about certain situations, certain aspects of it. I'm just glad the young man is able to just be alive, to be honest with you, and now go out there and play the game he loves.
Yep. All right, a couple more here. The Major League Baseball is considering experimenting with a pinch runner. The MLB announced a series of experimental rules that will be used in the Atlantic League this season. Designated pinch runner, a double hook designated hitter rule. So
what does that mean?
You can use a DH for your pitcher as long as the pitcher stays in for 5 innings. If not, then the pitchers who follow.
So the starting pitcher has to go at least 5 innings or you lose your designated hitter.
Yep, and then further limitations to a pitcher's ability to make pickoff moves. I believe they're going to experiment with only moving your foot off of the rubber one time for pickoff moves. What? So your thoughts?
Y'all chill out.
Now, like, the people who are running baseball have to hate baseball. That's the only explanation. That's the only explanation. Please, Rob Manfred, look, I think you're a clown, okay? I'll be the first to tell you, I'll tell it to your face, all right? I think you're a clown. But if you love baseball, if you really actually do, stop it. Stop it. Resign or do whatever, because you are without a doubt the worst commissioner I've ever seen in anything, man. In anything. You are the worst. Stop. Please. You're ruining the game. Resign. I am calling for Rob Manfred to resign right now before you turn on baseball and it looks like Slugfest. All right? A bunch of little clowns playing against horses with no rules. It is an absolute joke. Rob Manfred, please resign. Please resign if you care about baseball, if you do at all. Because again, you are one giraffe, elephant, and the bearded lady away from being a legitimate ringleader of a circus. You're not smart. You're not innovative. You're a complete joke. And I'll tell you to your face, move that to Colorado.
Oh my goodness. So what do you hate most about these rules here?
It's what? Why?
The pinch runner you hate the most.
What?
The pinch
runner thing.
Anytime?
No, it's yes.
They're experimenting with it
for any time. No. You can pinch run anytime throughout. I think you get 1 per inning. But it's not you pinch run for him, you got to take the guy out. So now that means guys really, not only is the pitcher not going to hit, all right? Not only is the pitcher not going to hit because you have DH in both leagues, now your DH doesn't even have to run the bases. Like, you're taking strategy out of the game is what you're doing. It's not a hard strategy for me to put a faster guy in there. Everybody's going to do that. Then when it comes to the starting pitcher deal, what the hell is going on? Who adds a DH to half the league and then tells you they're going to take it away if the starting pitcher doesn't go 5 innings? So what happens if Jacob deGrom's wrist starts hurting in the 4th inning? I got to take him out.
Then you don't get a DH.
Then I don't get a DH because of an injury. This is so stupid.
I'm trying to think of the reason.
This is so stupid.
Right?
It's because I don't.
Runner, you're trying to get more runs.
They hate baseball. That's the reasoning. I'm convinced.
The pinch running. The DH, I don't understand though. If you're banging for more runs, why are you going to limit a team on having a DH or not? What's the ultimate goal there? And what was the last one?
Limiting pickoff moves. I think you can only move your foot off of the rubber on the mound 1 time, something like that, per runner on base.
So how would that guy literally, if you pick him off 1 time, not automatically steal?
Yeah, or get like a huge lead every time. So again, I don't know all the rules. And again, they're testing this in the Atlantic League, which is what they did with these other things like the pitch clock and the bigger bases and things like that. This isn't for the majors, right?
I know, but just testing it, just putting it out there, just because again, all these other rules. Remember the pitch clock and all that stuff. They got what tested.
Yeah.
All right, they're experimenting more than Stormy Daniels right now.
Sit me down like I'm a 5-year-old child, hold my hand, and really explain it to me. What's the end goal here? What are we trying to accomplish? Because
I think the end goal
these just don't make sense to me. Like I get some of them for runs and stuff. Like I get it, but some you're limiting runs.
Yeah. By the way, we're taking calls right now. 1-855-236-3228. Go ahead and call in, get in line because they jam up pretty fast.
All right, one more here. Protesters halted play at the World Snooker Championships. You guys are familiar with snooker, right? Because I wasn't really.
Dude, you said this to me yesterday, and I didn't know what you mean, so I took it as disrespect.
Did you feel
watch your
disrespected?
mouth.
Mission accomplished.
Watch your
I know
mouth.
pool. I know billiards. I don't know snooker necessarily, but let me just tell you, these protesters, they stormed in there. This one website just had me cracking up. It's
the BBC.
Day 3 of the tournament was disrupted after a yob stormed the snooker table and poured orange powder all over
A yob?
while another eco nut was stopped in his attempts to climb the other
language are
table.
we speaking?
We have video.
Yeah, let's run this video.
Drop a four.
Well,
What is going on the court?
quite know what that was for.
You get him.
You look
yeah, you
exactly
get him.
like I
You
thought
tell
you
that
would.
mean ocean,
get 'em.
Todd. You
get
tell
'em.
that mean ocean.
You get him. Save the turtles and straws.
All right, here's how you stop this. Pretty easy. You know what you do?
Make all the balls
Kind of
before
a
you
sweet
get on the
picture,
table.
not gonna lie. That's pretty
That
cool.
is a dope picture.
That's kind of a sweet picture.
Why
Why are we taking fire pictures?
How about this? How about this?
Like what we do is we'll do it again.
All the people who are throwing stuff on paintings, you could end this very quickly. Life.
In jail?
Yep.
Take their life?
No.
Well, yeah,
This
basically.
isn't Sons of Anarchy. Calm
Life
down,
in
Dave.
jail.
I'm asking questions.
I'm talking about life. You want to throw something on a Van Gogh? Life in prison. That's how you stop it.
Okay, I feel like I'm okay with that. Like life with that, but if this dude just gets on a pool table,
Nah,
I don't think we should put him for life in jail.
No, life. Snooker at that.
Life.
Yeah, life.
He might be the best.
You want to
snooker
talk?
player
You make an
coming out
example
prison.
of him. All right, that's fine. Guess what? Guess how many sea turtles you're going to see in prison?
But my
None.
mind, like, what's this guy's mindset before? Like, how can I make the biggest splash?
Oh, he thinks he's the
Biggest
hero. Though.
announcement.
He thinks he's the
no, but
hero.
like,
He's the
okay,
good
like
guy.
you go to see, I'm gonna go to
Life.
a snooker event.
Yeah.
All 23 of these guys are gonna
Look, we Americans, we can't really laugh. We got our own problems, but
look,
the
we're
British,
disaster over here.
yeah,
whole
at least he knows he's a guy.
Yeah, we're disaster.
Does
over
he?
Here. Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Guarantee
Was it
you
my
he has
generation?
pronouns in
My
the bio.
generation had Wonder Woman. Now you have to wonder if it's a woman.
No, but in all seriousness,
Touche.
I mean, why would you not just say, all right, that's fine, 10 years?
At least it's going down, right?
Yeah,
At
Started
least
with
it's
life.
going
We didn't go from
down.
life
I
to
wasn't-
20,
I wasn't-
life to 10 years.
No. I wasn't joking about the Van Gogh, though.
Oh,
Like the paintings like that?
Yeah,
If it's if it's worth $1 million or $1 million worth of my time,
I'm for the.
that's life.
I'm for
But that, like snooker, I didn't even know that thing existed. Let's give him 5 years.
Put
all
him
right,
in-
let him have to
put him in a public
decide to join a
setting.
gang or something.
Put him in a
Change
public-
his life.
Put him in a public.
He'll come out
setting,
better for it.
Put him on the thing, like have people come up and hit him with stuff.
If that guy doesn't live with his parents, I'll pay you each $1,000. I'd be one that bets you
Justine, can we find out if he lives with
all
his
of the
parents or
money in the
not?
world that guy lives with his parents.
What about if his punishment is to work for like an oil refinery or something?
He has
I want to work.
He has to work on a rig.
I got a better one.
Yeah.
I got a better
Clean up the
one.
spill.
I got a better
Yeah.
one. Slaughterhouse.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's graphic with you today.
Wow.
No, okay.
graphic
Look,
with
you
you.
want to play? You
Like
want to
him?
hop in the jungle? Let's find out what really goes on.
Like just like him killing cows and stuff.
Oh yeah. No, I want him to chop them up. That's what happens. Sorry. Guess
All
what?
right, let's go to Dabo Sweeney.
Hold on.
Let's go to
Hold on,
Dabo
guys.
Sweeney.
Hold on, guys.
So you can chop him up.
Speaking of what we were talking about earlier, regardless, the days when skincare was just for women,
Yep.
those are over. All right? Because look, guys want to look good too.
Yeah.
All right? I mean, if you're struggling with those frown lines from watching Koepka's game implode over the past weekend, a couple weekends ago, or maybe, which I mean, we say implode.
Is that in the ad read?
Finish second.
That's-
Or maybe you went to work yesterday with puffy eye bags after crying tears of joy. Okay, after your NBA or NHL team won, especially if you're a road dog. Hell, if you're a Kings fan right now, you probably look like you've been crying in your hands for an hour. I have a perfect solution for you. Genucell Skincare and the Booster Club loves this product. Absolutely loves this product. You can see it in the sales. We've tried everything. The dark spot corrector is fantastic. The Ultra Retinol Moisturizer contains a powerful retinol alternative that visibly reduces the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and skin discoloration. That's how you get skin like this. Super silky smooth, no wrinkles. It's fantastic. Isn't that right, guys? I think we all agree. You guys are right.
Agreed.
Right now, Genucell, this is where you really need to listen. Genucell is offering 70% off their most popular package when you go to genucell.com/booster. That's GENUCEL.com/booster for 70% off their most popular package. It includes the dark spot corrector, as well as the ultra retinol and under eye treatment. Every order subscription includes a luxury gift box with these 3 free springtime essentials just in time for warmer weather, and it's free shipping. 70% off and free shipping. In this economy, I know they're deep in their bag. So go to Genucel.com/booster. That's Genucel.com/booster. Trust me, it's fantastic. David, we're taking calls in a minute, but we know it's Wednesday. There's somebody somewhere is on this lawn, and they need to get off.
I'm going to get off my lawn, but first I've been using that Genucel, the under eye part, twice a day for 6 weeks. I needed some extra last night after what the Rangers did to the New Jersey Devils.
Look, you're like the male version of Age of Adeline right now. I don't think you've aged a day since you started using it.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it, man.
No, you too.
Huh? You too. You look good too.
Hey, these are new.
Huh?
Get those balls off my kids.
Yeah, look at those big boat paddles you got down there.
Damn right.
Looking like a Yeti. All right, so we know every Wednesday, Cone, who's really 80 years old, trapped in a 35-year-old man's body, he's upset about something. Just like Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino, you need to get off his lawn. Who's G'ing off your L today, David?
Arkansas football.
Uh-oh.
This pains me, but you did it to yourself, so get off my lawn. First, allow me to preface, I have a lot of respect for the University of Arkansas. My father is a Razorback, and the athletic department across the board is doing an incredible job. But I'll tell you what's not incredible. Handing out championship-sized rings for winning the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. That's right, and they shared the evidence with pride. For reference, I put this Liberty Bowl reward side by side with Georgia's 2021 national championship ring. One of these was given to the Bulldogs for going 14-1 and beating Alabama in the national title game. The other represents Arkansas going 7-6, losing to Liberty, and needing triple overtime to beat a 6-6 Kansas team 55-53 in the Liberty Bowl. How on earth can Stetson Bennett walk around Dallas, Texas, intoxicated and be proud of his championship ring when you copy and pasted the same one to your finger? Have some standards. You want a ring? Here are your options. Win the Natty. Win the conference. New Year's Six Bowl, we can talk about it. Divisional champs, not really, but the SEC West is so tough. Go ahead, live a little. But handing out ring pop-sized trinkets for a 7-6 season, it's the most Texas A&M thing I can think of.
Here we go.
Now, it's not on the same level as my alma mater, Michigan, receiving participation rings from the 2011 Gator Bowl after losing 52-14 to Mississippi State. We don't really talk about those days, boys, okay? But nonetheless, it's not what I expected from a Sam Pittman-led program. Now, I know from personal experience how difficult it is to win one college football game, let alone 7. And those seniors who just played the final football snap of their lives should have something to commemorate the victory. That's where T-shirts come in. And hats, backpacks, AutoZone coupons for free brake pads, not rings. Mediocrity should not be celebrated. It should be learned from, then improved upon. So Arkansas, I will likely be cheering on your baseball team next week, shouting "Woo Pig Suey" at the top of my lungs. But until then, take your costume jewelry and get off my lawn.
Good.
Well done, David.
Good.
You guys know this is
I
the
love the
problem.
subtle A&M shot in there.
Huh?
I love the subtle A&M.
Well, I didn't know what I
And then
was.
you bring it back by talking about
I don't know why Blaine
Oh, yeah.
harbors this hate for Texas A&M, but everybody that is, what's your Twitter? Blaine _Crain.
Blaine _ Crain.
I think it's Blaine.
Yeah.
Crain _ Blaine. No, it's Crain _ Blaine.
I hate nobody, all right? Except, well, there's some people out there.
Nobody except for all these people.
Like, I have nothing against A&M. Nothing. It's just usually the loudest guy at the party is usually the weakest.
Well, and I had some Arkansas fans, because I mentioned this on social media, and they said, well, you know, one of them said, well, don't blame Sam Pittman for this. Number one, it's disrespectful to think that Sam Pittman didn't know this was going to happen. Sam Pittman knows what's going on in his program. That's a horrible excuse. The second one I heard was, well, we've been so bad with Chad Morris that now it's kind of an accomplishment getting to 7-6. And I'm like, wait. There's no way the standards. I know Arkansas hasn't won a ton of national championships or won the SEC a bunch, but Arkansas's done stuff before. Arkansas's had success before. The standard should be high. That should have been the lowest of the low. That should be where the low bar is at 7-6. And it just surprised me because Sam Pittman is, you know, I know Sam Pittman doesn't believe in participation trophies.
No.
But
No.
Man, this looks like a participation trophy, man.
Yeah.
The Liberty Bowl?
You know,
the Liberty Bowl?
I get it. And like I said, there are rewards you get for winning that game and for having that season.
Like a lazy bowl.
Some bowls give out rings.
Or even, and I'm going to get to that with the Gator Bowl, but even a ring. Let's just say you want to make the team a ring to commemorate that or something. Not that. That's the same size as what Georgia got for winning the national. There has to be levels to this thing.
I'd have a ring and say, do better.
Okay, well, that's one point. But Michigan did. The season after I graduated.
Let's go 7-5. Then.
Michigan.
All right.
Michigan got rings for losing the Gator Bowl. 52-14, worst bowl loss in Michigan history.
Yeah, I
don't think. I talked to some teammates yesterday. I don't think, and that was Rich Rodriguez's final game before he got fired. I think it was the bowl gave those out and not the team.
The Gator Bowl, you're talking about?
The Gator Bowl gave those.
Can you imagine getting that ring? Here you go.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine having to ask, like, they're like, oh, Dad, what'd you get that ring? What championship you win? It's like, son, we won the Liberty Bowl and went 7-6. So I got that bad boy right there.
Yeah, think about the other way. We lost the Liberty Bowl. 40. Yeah. Go clean your room. All right.
Let's get to the chat before we get to call. Well, I mean, it's about time we get to call.
Well, I got to get some donations.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Dabo Sweeney, $2 donation. He's a pump plus Crain & Co. equals a damn good Wednesday.
Wow. Yeah.
What'd you hit today, Dabo?
Yeah, I need those splits.
What are those receivers looking like? Let's talk about it. Drew Stein, $5 donation. Did you guys see OSU ranked #1 in ESPN's FPI? How many times must we beat them into the ground before we get some respect we deserve? Hashtag go blue. Hashtag
FPI
definitely winning a national
fake
championship.
Poll indicator. Or fake
I might have made that last
index.
hashtag up.
Who said that?
That was Drew Stein.
Drew Stein. Go blue, baby.
RL son.
Let's go to Cole Frank. What's up, Cole? First time seeing you in the chat. $20 donation. Hey, guys, what are your thoughts on the Toronto Maple Leafs' chances of making it out of the second round? Have a great day.
Yeah, well, hell, y'all got to get through the
y'all
first,
got your
man.
hands
Look,
full.
I know as a fan, you're so sick of it. You're sick of hearing about it. They got to get this done, and every year, eventually, we're going to get past it. Eventually, going to get past it. And then you give up a touchdown in the first game of the Lightning, which I know the Lightning are good offensively. I'm not saying, but at some point, I mean, damn, it's Toronto. Can y'all win a hockey series in the playoffs? This is like getting beaten beach volleyball like by a team from Canada when you're in Florida. Just doesn't make sense.
And I like watching them. They're so high flying. We know about Austin Matthews. They're great. You know, Nylander, they're great on offense. But if they don't get that defense tightened down, you're not going to beat a team like the Lightning.
You can't give up 7. I mean, it's at some point, you gave up 6 goals in the first 2 periods.
In 7 in hockey, equivalent to like, you got 45 dropped on you in football.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Right? That's in the same realm, right?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go to James Stallings. What's up, James? $2 donation. Says, with these new rules in baseball, let's just call it a new sport.
Yeah, at some point, we turn into baseball.
Called a new sport, softball.
I mean,
James, you onto something there, bud?
James, look, who knows at this point? Like, I just Rob Manfred resigned. That's all I can do now. That's all. Come on the show and debate me about the rules. Come on the show and debate me about the rules. I know you won't because you probably don't even know the rules deep down. I mean, you were just boys do boy for so long. You just melt.
Let's just get Jonah Hill in here. That's all you got to do.
You failed up.
Let's go to Feeling Dangerous. 113, $10 donation. Appreciate that, brother. Because you brought up Okoro over the Cavs series. I think he might not get much more PT this series. He only got 3 minutes game 2.
Yeah.
And LeVert and Green hits the 3 better. He didn't. Isaac did not play a lot in that last game.
No, the first game he played a decent amount. I mean, they gave him a ton of wide open looks for 3. He's just a liability on offense right now. He's really athletic. He can play above the rim. He can slash. He's a good defender. But Karis LeVert's offensive bag is so much deeper than what Okoro's is. And from a facilitating point too. I mean, we talk about Danny Green, right? Who's 300 years old, but Danny Green going there. He's been hitting 3s in the playoffs since Noah made the arc.
Really?
All right, we get the Daily Wire chat real quick. Tribunal 88 question for the guys since they touched on this a bit late yesterday. Not a sports question, but need some advice.
Yeah.
All right, in June, I'm driving my wife and 2 boys to Siesta Key for vacation. We go every other year. It's where he proposed. But this time on the way there now is a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
What's the play for my first time going?
Ooh, tell them, boys.
God, first off, tell me the name again.
Tribunal 88.
God, you came to the right place, fam. Here's what you do. You pull into Buc-ee's. You'd be amazed at how huge it is. Then you walk into the Buc-ee's. You go straight over to where they have the brisket sandwiches. You buy 1 for each member of your family and 3 extra in case something happens on the way to the car. Then you go and you get to the beef jerky section. You look at the unbelievable array of beef jerkies that they have. You choose your favorite. I would err on the side of a lot. Now, a lot of people, when it comes to Buc-ee's, they have a bunch of candied nuts and stuff like that. go with the pecans, be a true American. All right, those are the 3 things I get. Get you a huge soda. They've got some made with cane sugar. They've got some made with regular sugar. Hell, they've got some made with Able sugar. So at the end of the day, anything your heart desires. Don't wear the hats around, though. Don't buy the hats and wear them. That's weird. It's like people that dress up and go to Disney World. I don't trust you, especially around an elementary school. So that's what you do at Buc-ee's.
So one, all right? That's a great recipe right there, Jake.
Thank you.
One, when you get there, okay? When you get there, the first thing you're going to do is with your wife and your 2 kids is you're going to go take a picture from that squirrel, all right, out front of
the desk.
Beaver. It's a beaver. Squirrel,
Yeah,
beaver,
not a squirrel.
who cares?
Rodent, right?
Yeah,
Look at it.
whatever.
You
If
know
I see it,
animals.
I'm going to shoot it. That's how it works. All right? You go take a picture out front with your kids, look happy, get a smile. You go inside, all right, you go to where they make the brisket. They're going to yell something at you.
Bucky the
All right?
squirrel.
So they're going to yell something at you when it gets to a certain time. And when are you getting there? You know, that's the real question. We talking breakfast? We talking lunch? Because if it's breakfast, go get you that protein pack and get 2 maxed out burritos, dude. I'm telling you, get the salsa. They have the green salsa and the red salsa. Absolute flames. When I was driving down the
They have breakfast?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't been there for
Oh,
breakfast.
the breakfast burritos, top tier.
There you go, Tribunal. All right.
Man, they also make another sandwich. I can't remember the name of it now. It's kind of like a club. It's like it has barbecue
Matthew
sauce.
Farmer, I'll get to you later.
Yeah.
All right.
Either way, you guys introduced me to Buc-ee's.
Yes.
You guys put me on
sorry for
Buc-ee's.
calling you
Also, head over to the fudge division. I call it
the fudge
division and get some praline cookies, maybe some fudge too. I
Yes,
don't know.
God, so that is a
All right, you ready for calls?
Let's do it.
Matthew, talking about Arkansas. Matthew's calling in from Greenwood, Arkansas. What's going
Okay.
on, Matthew?
Get him, Matt.
Did you
Get
get a
him.
ring? Did you get a Liberty Bowl ring?
No, I did not, but I gotta say, I'm glad we're in the trust tree
Yes.
today.
Yes, for sure. Hey, again,
I
remember,
can-
one ring to rule them all, and then darkness shall bind them.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that was real yesterday. It was so sad. That was a below standard season for Arkansas. My standard personally should be 8. I think we should be getting 8 to 9 wins a season and not celebrating a Liberty Bowl victory, but that's just me.
Did you think anything that we said was unfair?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, Sam Pittman definitely should have put the kibosh on this as soon as he saw it.
Well, at least I can tell you this, all right?
Are you petting?
At least he went to a bowl game. I know a team that could say they didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Better than Chad Morris days.
Yeah, that was a very Chad Morris.
We don't
move.
mention that name here.
Oh, man.
But I have a 24/7 Sports put together all of the AP polls since 1936 and put together an all-time top 25 college football list. And I just wanted to run real quick through that for you guys and get
For
your
sure.
reactions.
Yeah.
So starting at 25, we got Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, Washington, Wisconsin, Texas A&M, Arkansas at 20, Michigan State, Clemson 18, UCLA, Miami, Florida at 15, Florida State, your guys' Auburn Tigers at 13,
Okay, I'll take that.
Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Penn State, Nebraska, Texas, USC, Michigan at 5, Notre Dame, Alabama, Oklahoma, and number 1, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Wow. I would not have guessed.
Alabama's entered the chat.
Yeah, what stands out to me is it shows you how good Tennessee and Nebraska were in the past to be as bad as they've been for so long, and they're still, I believe they're both top 10 on that list. What was Tennessee?
Do what?
I'm saying, what was Tennessee on that list?
Number 10.
Number 10. So Tennessee and Nebraska have been so bad for a long time, outside of last year with Tennessee, but they're still top 10. I think that's, because again, you go through that amount of time, I mean, who knows how it's going to end up at the end, but I think it shows you these fan bases that are so loyal, and you're like, how can they stay so loyal? Well, they were really good for so long. You kind of built up all this equity. So Michigan State being in there is interesting to me.
It's a little surprising.
You know, outside of that, nothing really shocking other than a couple of those top 10 teams that haven't had a ton of success lately.
Got to have Alabama at number 1, right?
That's what I would.
If their dynasty were only this last decade and a half, and they didn't have the pedigree and the history, you could say, okay, they're just trying not to have recency bias. But Alabama's had these sorts of dynasties several times, and maybe the two greatest college football coaches we've seen. Look, I get it. OSU, they're amazing. Notre Dame, Michigan, all those programs. But, man, not to have Alabama at the top is kind of weird.
That is interesting. That's a great call. Shout out Greenwood, Arkansas.
Hey, you know what? We'll take that list. We'll do a full segment on it this week.
Yeah, I
We'll
like
break it
that.
down.
Hey, you're very inspiring.
Yeah, we appreciate that, Matthew.
Thanks. Hey, Matthew, do you have
Suey, buddy.
Hey, do you have a call sign you want to get on here?
Woo Pig Suey.
Woo Pig Suey. Do you want a call sign?
Oh, yeah, I do have one for you guys related to being a Razorback fan.
Okay.
It is Heartbroken Hog.
Heartbroken Hog.
baby.
All right. Hey, don't worry. I still believe in the pit boss, baby.
I'm picking the pieces up.
Y'all didn't just beat Kansas in football. Y'all beat them in basketball, too.
That's true.
Be proud of
the
that.
muscle man.
That was
All
pretty
right.
cool.
There you go.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Heartbreak. All right, let's go to Glegby from Chattanooga. Ooh, Glegby in the chat. What's going on?
The mountains.
All right, guys. So I have a dilemma that I need you to solve for me.
Boy, you came to the right
we're
place.
here.
Please come take a seat in my office.
Oh, yeah, I know. You guys are great at solving dilemmas. So for
do it.
context, my wife's going out of town this weekend, and she's taking the baby with her. So I'm trying to do something fun to stave off all the boredom. So I've got a day planned. I'm going to go trail riding in my old Xterra in the morning. I'm going to go work out with my buddy after that. But then I have a choice between doing one of three things, and I cannot decide.
Okay.
Choice number one, going to a Birmingham Stallions game. Choice number two, going to the Talladega Super Speedway to watch the Xfinity Series, which is basically the NASCAR semi-pro. Or choice number three, going to a Braves game, although, unfortunately, the caveat with the Braves game is, one, it's at 7 p.m., which would require me to be in downtown Atlanta after dark, and I'm a very pasty white man.
Not downtown, though. Not downtown. But go ahead.
Is it not downtown?
No, it's in it's
Not anymore, buddy.
Marietta now.
Go
It
treat
was where I
yourself.
lived when over there. Yeah, it's the Truist is in Marietta. It's in the battery is. You know what? Finish.
Yeah,
and
go
then
ahead
I'm
and
gonna tell you what
finish.
to do.
Okay, yeah, because that does change the dynamic a bit. But the other issue is the tickets are sold out, so it's standing room only. That's the other issue. So between those three options, where should I go this weekend?
Number one, let me say congrats on getting some alone time. Your wife's a champ too for taking the baby. I don't know where she's going, but congrats to you on having a little time. Loving going out in the Xterra, hitting the trails. A lot of respect there. Going to get a pump in. You know, we rise and grind every day, so I respect that as well. When I'm looking at those three, okay, the Birmingham Stallions, champs of the USFL, cool story. Is that what you want to use that weekend pass on, though? Is it worth it? I don't think so. And then you look at Talladega. At first, you said Talladega. I was saying, yes, I'm feeling good. But if I'm going to go to Talladega, I want to watch the true pros do it, not the semi-pros. I don't want to watch us play the Flint Tropics and Jackie Moon, all right? Not saying it won't be a great time, not saying the cars won't go fast, but as a Braves guy, I would be remiss, nay, I would be letting down massive swaths of people if I did not tell you, regardless if it's standing room only, okay? Because the way it's set up in Truist, which is not in downtown Atlanta, which is basically I'm not even going to say it's a disaster. We all know that. That's why you have cities seceding. But when you look at where it is now, Truist is fantastic. The Battery is awesome. The Chop House is awesome. There's so much stuff to do walking around that you can stop and watch the game there. And the Braves are 14-4. Oof. I mean, we're hitting more tanks than planes in World War II right now. So to me, I'm getting in the car and I'm going down to the Braves game with the bras.
All right, I'm gonna let Blaine. That was very well done. I'm gonna let Blaine attempt to sell you on Talladega before I clean it up here at the end. Go ahead.
What do you say? The same thing Jake said.
Huh?
One, don't go to a Braves game. All right.
Go ahead. Let him
Got 1,000 of them a year. You can go anytime. All right. You pack your stuff. All right. Look, you get a roadie on the way. All right. You pop one on the way. All right. You go down to Birmingham, Alabama, and you watch that race.
Yeah.
One, couple reasons. There might be a dragon flying around Birmingham this weekend.
Whoa.
All right. Two, if you want to meet up with a dragon, I'd probably be down. I'd be with some
a
other
lot of probablys
Dragons
and
as well. All right, 2, have you ever been to a race?
I went to the Bristol Motor Speedway about 10 years ago.
How was it?
Oh, it was fun. I met Paula Dean.
Exactly.
There you go. Lady and
Who
Sons.
knows who you'll meet at this one? All right, other than the Dragon as myself. Don't go to Atlanta. 80% chance you're going to get robbed, brother.
Wow, that's
80%,
disrespectful.
Even at the Battery,
That's
80%
disrespectful.
chance. All right, it is. You're going to go to a Braves game. They'll probably win. It's a pain in the ass getting in there. It's a pain in the ass getting out of there.
Which brings
All
me to my
Then you have
point,
to drive
Blakey.
all the way back to Chattanooga.
Which brings
go
me-
to Beham.
which
kick it
means
with your
I'm up.
boy. Let's go watch some cars go really fast.
Which means it's my turn. The Braves Stadium is no longer in downtown Atlanta. It is in Cobb County. It is at the intersection of 285 and 75,
You're
which
wrong.
means when you pull out of the parking lot, you're already on 75 North. You can be to Chattanooga in an hour 45. And guess what you
Capricorn.
pass? Guess what you pass right there in that, up there in the Rome area? You're going to pass that Buc-ee's, and you're going to stop there. You're going to get a sliced brisket sandwich. You're going to get a sarsaparilla, maybe a little fudge. You're going to have a great weekend. And I'm proud of you for doing all of this when your wife and kid are out, because I would just sleep. I would sleep all weekend, to be honest. Hats off to you.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Glegby. Thank you.
Hey, keep us. Hey, call in
Kia,
next
let
week
us
and
know
let
how
us
it
know what you
goes.
Go
did.
to Talladega.
I will. Thanks.
All right. Michael from Florida. What's going on, Michael?
Nice, Florida.
Hey, I'm feeling Jackson 10 today.
Oh, you feel jacked in town? You look jacked in town, bro.
Yeah, I can't even see you, but
Look
just hearing
so
your
jacked
voice, I know you're at
on.
least jacked and probably.
Why's that
tan.
baby looking at me?
Yeah.
All right, I have a question for Jake and Blaine.
Okay.
All right, so January 10th, 2010. To give Blaine and PJ some reference, this was 52 days after the release of Twilight New Moon. It was a historic day that will be celebrated by Auburn fans for generations. Auburn triumphantly wins the BCS National Championship over Oregon by last-second field goal, led by their computer-stealing quarterback, Cam Newton. This has been done one time, and that was in 1957. Which is ironically the same year that Cone thinks he was born in.
My mom was born that year.
Describe your personal experience that night and the emotions felt during the game. What did the national championship victory mean to you and your family? Go Tigers.
Yeah. First off, what a great call.
Look.
I'm gonna keep this brief. You want to go first?
We're
Blaine?
hugging right now. I know you're on
Yeah.
the phone, but right now we just went in for a nice big bear hug. It's like either that or we just connected on the best high five.
Yes, like perfect.
So what did it mean to me and my family? Like it meant everything. One, just man, there's something about just being an Auburn fan, what you have to deal with in general, right? You look over at Georgia. They never shut up, and we can never beat them. For some reason, we can never beat them. Then you go look at Alabama. I don't hate anybody. I hate Alabama, though, 100%. And they're just running through everything, starting to get good at basketball, been killing everybody at football. To win that game, and all the drama that's surrounded with Cam Newton, did we pay him? But yeah, probably we got a steal. We got for 220? Cam for
180. 180.
What a steal.
We got him for the Sam's
You're
Club price.
signing 5-star freshmen for more than that these days.
Oh, my goodness.
So it meant, like, the cool thing about it, like, I got to see it with my buddies. Like, we won, and there's 2 holes in the house. I had to do that with my father later with what wasn't great. But, man, it's a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah, I can be very brief on this. You got to understand, Nick Saban had just gone to Alabama, and remember what they did in 2009, how good that team was. And Alabama was a laughingstock when I was growing up. I mean, I was more worried about LSU than Alabama through the Tuberville era. And Saban got him back to the old Alabama that everybody remembered, and that team was so talented. So to win that was kind of like a clap back to Alabama, saying Auburn's not going away. Now, we know what Nick Saban's done since then. And then Auburn, appeared in the Natty in 2013 and really should have won it, but I'm not going to go too far into that. But when it comes down to how, it made you feel, you heard all the jokes. Well, Auburn hadn't won one since 1957. You're never going to win one. You're never going to want to know what it's like. And again, I can die saying that I've watched my team win the national championship in college football. Not a lot of people can say that. So to me, it was just kind of like a combination of all those years of wanting it and all those years of getting close and all those years of having to, be little brother and all that stuff, to see Cam Newton and a coach that was 3-19 or whatever it was, 6-19 at Iowa State, come in and win it because they got Cam Newton was fantastic. So I just remember seeing the kick go through, and it was just pure joy, man. Just pure joy. That's the best way I can put it.
That was beautiful, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kept it brief.
Yep.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Great season, by the way.
Yeah, tough life over there for you, Cone.
Huh?
Yeah.
Look, I've seen the Braves win the World Series.
Whatever.
Me too.
Good.
Whatever.
You know?
Whatever, dude.
Love it.
Whatever.
Appreciate it, Michael.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, man. All right,
Back in
Paul.
town, brother.
Paul from Virginia. What's going on, Paul?
The trust tree is alive and well in the Virginia branch. Though I feel like I'm holding it up on my own here.
You hold that branch
This is
down,
you,
brother.
This is you.
Sun's just now hitting and
Yeah, just
shining on
nice.
that.
Just nice.
No, but y'all talked about the Nuggets earlier on the show and how lopsided they are against the Timberwolves. No, I got to do a little get off my lawn on my own.
Do it.
Brother. It's a movie.
Do it.
Mike Malone needs to get off my lawn. Now I'm new to basketball. I've only started watching last year when my college team actually did something, and I figured why not try my hand at pro basketball.
Okay.
So being a DC and Denver fan, I had two choices. I ended up choosing the Nuggets just because why not? 2-2 would be even split. Then I was introduced to the Jekyll and Hyde that is Mike Malone. Yeah, did we get the number 1 seed? Yes. But with context, we backed into it because the Grizzlies decided to choke. And then on top of that, we have the lowest win percentage in NBA history for the number 1 seed. Now, I've been a doubter because I'm naturally a pessimist, but I wanted them to prove me wrong. And for the most part, they did. Game 1 went out without a hitch. They had done what they should have been doing, which is beating up on the little guy. But 7 minutes or so in the final quarter, I noticed something that seemed to perplex me. Nikola Jokic was in the game, which is interesting because, 1, we were up 30. 2, I'm pretty sure he was nursing a wrist injury. Now, why would he play that? Oh, yeah, because Mike Malone has an ego the size of Jupiter.
That's huge.
And lo and behold, we win. All's good and all. And I wake up this morning to pull up Twitter, and I find that Nikola Jokic is out for Game 2.
What? When did that? Is that official?
I have to confirm. I can probably put that on. I'll probably tweet about it, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. Because he's got that wrist injury is back. So Mike Malone, until you fix it, here's the stuff from your office. Now pack your stuff and get off my lawn.
There we go, brother. Well done.
That's great stuff. We're looking up the Jokic stuff right now.
Doubtful.
That'd be doubtful.
He's doubtful now.
All right.
Doubtful.
Okay, we may have to
good.
Yeah, look, the Timberwolves. God, but without Jokic, man. I mean, with the Anderson.
Nuggets basketball without Jokic is worse than the Timberwolves. Jokic carries us. I may
have to
taking
rethink.
MVP away from a lot of teams.
There may well, here's my thing. Everything's falling in place for the Nuggets. The Grizzlies are beat up. The Kings are good, but I mean, it's the Kings. The Suns, Chris Paul's going to blow it at some point. The Clippers don't have Paul George. Golden State isn't what they used to be. The Lakers are somewhat scary, but I mean, the Timberwolves, man.
Look, what are you worried about right now?
So it said questionable yesterday. So is he doubtful now officially?
Yeah, it says doubtful.
I took
him
minus
worried about right now.
7.5.
I mean, you're one. Look, you won the first game. All right, you done all you can right now in the playoffs.
I know.
Big trust. All right,
I don't know. I'm with him. Like, why is old boy?
I trust the Nuggets more than the Suns with KD.
I'm not saying on paper I don't trust them. It's just I know what the team looks like without Jokic. I've been watching it live.
Yeah. No, I can take a guess what it looks like. Look, I love Jamal Murray, but let's not act like that big Serbian that rides horses isn't one of the best players, if not the best player.
You take Giannis off the Bucks. Look what they look like.
Yeah.
Take Joel Embiid off the Sixers. See what they look like. You're taking MVP talent off of teams. I mean, obviously, they're not going to be that good.
Yeah.
Not as good.
Well, yeah, not as good. It's just kind of the depth of the roster.
Well, let's see.
That was a great get off my lawn
play. Hey, man, well done.
Well
done,
Get
Paul.
off my lawn, man. I felt that right here.
Yeah.
It's a movement.
Coming home,
Speaking of
y'all.
big trust.
Anthony, Clarksville, Tennessee. What's going on, brother?
Hey guys, 2 Eagles here. Person
Yes.
trust tree, liking the view.
Love that view.
So I love watching old football games on YouTube and stuff like that. And I was watching this one guy, and it's this guy that I haven't really paid enough attention to, and just really loving watching his game. But I thought I'd turn it into a little trivia here.
Let's do it.
So Carson Palmer won the Heisman in 2002, right?
Yep.
Do you guys remember who the last USC player to win the Heisman was before Carson Palmer?
Before Carson Palmer, so Matt Leinart was right after
him.
Carson Palmer.
And Reggie was after him.
2003, because I watched them come into Auburn with Matt being a freshman and beat them. So the guy who won the Heisman for USC before Carson Palmer was
Allen.
Was it Marcus Allen?
Marcus Allen? All right, let's think. Did anybody win for USC in the 90s?
I'm thinking
Don't
quarterbacks.
think a Southern
Nothing's coming.
Cal won in the 90s.
Nothing's coming to my head.
Man, I would say Marcus Allen.
I feel like that's too easy.
Yeah. USC.
we missing?
Think about it.
Is there
here.
another running back in between them? They had every running back.
What it's maybe a name that's won the Heisman, but it's not a super household name. But I can't.
Oh no, we talked about. Hold on, we talked about this. It was another running back.
No, obviously not Lindale.
Charlie
Reggie,
White.
Charles White.
Charlie White.
He's the one I know the least about.
Are we close?
You guys are dancing right around it. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys credit. It was Marcus Allen in 1981.
There you go.
Charles
early
White won
80s.
it in 79.
There we go.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right
Good.
between
The sauce is
OJ
still
back in
right.
the day and Reggie Bush later. I knew they had a
Okay.
couple running backs.
But Marcus Allen was the king. Like, I just watched him play. I was just watching the highlights. King of bouncing, of just that one bounce cut.
Yeah.
And taking the yardage that the defense gave him. It kind of reminded me like Carnell Williams. Not overly powerful or insanely fast, but just
That
so
jump
good
cut,
at
man.
taking what
That
the
jump
defense
cut's a
gives.
real thing. It's the best ones have it because it's kind of awkward a little bit too. It's hard to tackle somebody doing a jump cut, and then by the time they're moving, they jump while they're cutting. They still look like they're moving forward if you're to the side. So that's when that angle gets you. But
And a great pro too.
Great pro.
I think maybe one of the few guys to win the Heisman Trophy, a Super Bowl, and maybe the national
Yep.
championship.
No, he's got. You talk about earned rings.
Yeah, and that was one thing I was going to throw in there is he won a national title, a Heisman. He had a rushing, most yards in a season, a Super Bowl title, and I think he got a Super Bowl MVP too.
Have yourself a career,
Have
kid.
yourself a career.
You get like a gold car
It
too.
was
Is that
insane,
him?
yeah.
I don't know. Appreciate it, Anthony. Thanks
Thanks
so
to
much,
Eagles.
man. Jack, Thomas, Steve, Travis, everybody else. Y'all call in on Friday and say Pongo.
Actually, I want to change the word. I want to change it just in case I don't think anybody's abused it yet, but I want to change the word.
Okay.
All right.
Already? We just started it.
I want to change it.
Oh, you're saying so that you're going to keep changing it?
Keep changing
Oh,
it so
that
it's
for
people who
this.
are listening.
Okay.
The new world is the new world.
Fucking
That's
the
coming.
new world.
The new word is pickle feet.
Wow. Pickle feet.
I don't want to hear anything. It's pickle feet. So if you
we'll
weren't able to
accept
call in
Pongo,
today,
too.
call in, say pickle feet, and we got you.
Our Pongo.
No, I came up with the idea. You call in and say pickle feet. Don't
Our Pongo.
hijack this.
Our
Our Booster Club bets are brought to you by DraftKings. I'm going to start over. Our Booster Club bets are brought to you by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Sign up with the code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because new customers can bet $5 human and get $150 human in bonus bets instantly, win or lose. All right? So you're going to win. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Guys, I'm panicking like Jodie Foster right now over here at this Nuggets minus 7.5.
I got him. You took him 2 at 7.5? Are you going to change yours or are you staying with it?
Well, are the odds still at minus 115?
Just pick them.
I'll look.
No, I don't want to hear that from you.
So I'm
going to start.
It hasn't changed. The odds haven't changed.
I'm going Canes Bruins, all right, at plus 121 today, both on the money line. They hit the other day. It was plus 131. What's it looking like over there?
It's still minus 8.
You know what? We're riding with it.
Just
Give me the
about.
Nuggets minus 7.5 at minus 115. Come on, Denver, get that wrist right. Get that
All
wrist
right.
game right.
All right. If you stay with it, then bet buds. All right. Nuggets minus 7.5, minus 115. Then I'm going to go hockey. I want Stars and Oilers money line to even their series at plus 144. A little parlay there. Risky pick. It's hard enough to get one of the NHL picks right, much less two. But let's go with it.
All right. Hashtag Giants. Help us, God. Give me the Heat plus 7.5. Then give me the Nugs money lines going off at plus 143. Then give me the Yankees minus 1.5 at home versus the Angels.
Yeah. The Yankees let me down yesterday.
Good.
Canes money for Ace Cone. He's going to take the Canes money line at minus 175. And the Lakers money line at minus 115. Sorry, I thought that was an F.
Hey, man. You said they wouldn't make the playoffs.
That's my bad. I read it wrong. It's my handwriting.
We forgive you.
Well, he forgives you.
No, that's okay.
Well, Paul.
We don't even have a Buc-ee's sponsorship yet. We just show them massive
I know.
love. What odds I could throw this on the shelf and land it?
Will Texas A&M win 8 or more games?
I'm going to say they said, just out of
Quit
spite,
looking through me, David.
no, 61%.
No, more than that.
Wow. No. 61%.
Wow. The kid's in his bag today, boys.
39%. Absolutely.
Is that Katniss Everdeen?
Absolutely throwing
Katniss
darts
Everdeen?
out here. Yeah.
Out here throwing 7 different kinds of smoke. Love to see it. All right.
That reference, by the way.
Booster, thank you.
Yeah, I told.
Yes, I love that movie.
Me and Dupree.
Lights will.
Where are you?
You're not Joe. You're Joe Ness.
That movie is very funny.
Unlock.
All right. Matthew Farmer, I said we'd get to him. All right. He said this earlier in the show. He's an Aggie fan.
Okay.
All right. What do we say you have to do to be a top tier program? Have to have money invested in the program. We are doing that. You have to try and go get the best coach. We are doing that. You have to recruit at a high level. We are doing that. You have to adapt your style of play to keep up with others. Jimbo has done that with Petrino. So far, we haven't got the results, but it's not a lack from trying.
Mm-hmm.
No, nobody's saying you're not trying. What I'm saying is I think you're trying the wrong way a little bit. I think you've got to get back to being tough. You got to get back to having that chip on your shoulder. You got to get back to being pissed off and physical for greatness. I just think it's the truth.
And real quick to end it, Glegby. Talked to Glegby on the phone today.
Yes.
He had a decision to make.
What do you decide?
Man, I just looked it up. It looks like I can get to see 2 races for $50 at Talladega. That plus his Blaine arguments, I think that convinced me to go to
All right.
Look, the finances
have a blast, Glenn.
if you want to teach
Say you know,
I may go to a Braves game now. I may have talked myself into
you're not
going to a
going
Braves game.
You're not going. Not this weekend.
Take the family.
You're going to a Braves game this weekend.
Huh?
You going to a Braves game this weekend?
Don't know. Might take
Bet money.
Might take Glegby's seat.
Standing room only. All right, make sure you subscribe. Appreciate the callers. Booster Club, awesome as always. Keep spreading the word. Make sure you turn that notification bell on so you can see all of our content. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day or whenever you're listening to this. And like the chances,
Pickle feet
of Mike Malone, sorry,
Maloney
making good decisions with Jokic up 30 late in the game. We're going, gone.